Well, good morning, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to Level 1 Podcast, the very first podcast of May 2024. A brand new month means a brand new refreshing of my background, as you can see. And I hope that you're all in good spirits and ready for great gameplay and fun over the course of March. Well, I guess we're going back in time. Over the course of May. Excuse me. Remember, this month is an interesting month because we've got fun projects that we're working on for the first 3 weeks. And then, boom, a whole bunch of stuff is all hitting at once, including multiple new releases, expansions, and rebalances for Street Fighter and other things. So it's an interesting mix for sure. That's going to be pretty exciting. And of course, Fallout Mania continues. As you see, I've really been enjoying using the Fallout backgrounds for the podcast here, or I guess I should say the Fallout borders. And, of course, my Fallout 4 playthrough, which now I'm about 8 hours into, I want to say, I'm also very much enjoying, especially the fact that this playthrough is an open exploration. I am not going in linear ways. I'm not necessarily going through certain paths or established areas. I'm kind of just exploring for myself, unlocking areas and fast travel points, completely, clearing out buildings and stuff, which is good. It's good to do it that way, I feel. It actually gives more variety to the game instead of just being forced to go through certain set plot lines and the like. So I hope that you guys are enjoying everything that we're doing, and welcome to May. This should be a great month for DSP Gaming and, of course, my other two channels, DSP Reacts and DSP Throwback. So good stuff, right? Good stuff. Today's podcast, I'll be honest with all of you. First of all, it's my final consecutive streaming day of the week, and that means tomorrow is my day off, which is a good thing. It's also going to be a less stressful, more laid-back day off for me. I don't have to run around and do a million appointments. That's a good thing. But also, I don't really have any established criteria to talk about on today's podcast. What I mean is, there's really no gaming news to speak of. I really don't have many major updates. I'll talk a little bit about the games I played yesterday, but nothing huge or major that I'm really doing right now in regards to big announcements or whatever. We'll talk a little bit about the upcoming marathon that will be at the end of this month, and I think I have a good idea of what it's going to be. But yeah, there's just nothing crazy going on today. So today we have options. Today we can just open up the Q&A and just see what you guys feel like talking about here live on the stream. Or today we can do some suggestion box or something like that. I mean, we could. I'm not opposed to it, but a lot of the times when we have more laid-back days where we just talk, it's actually more entertaining. So I guess we'll figure it out. Okay? Cool. I guess the first thing we should do, let's recap yesterday briefly. Okay? Yesterday was a fun day with a bunch of news on the podcast. I hope you'll check it out because there were multiple news stories that we covered. And then I jumped back into another Krabs treasure for only my second stream. And it was very fun. Although, again, I will admit, the game is rough around the edges. It lacks polish. There's a lot of wonkiness to the platforming. A lot of the times I seem to be clipping through platforms or swinging through areas that I should not be happening. And, the controls, let's be honest. They tried so hard to emulate Dark Souls that the fact that when you dodge, you have to press the button and release the button to do the dodge. That's silly. In any game, if you want controls that are reacting to what you do, the moment you press the button, you should get the action. Not have to press and release, and that's how it is, just like they do it in Elden Ring and Dark Souls. So, 100% you know who they're basing their game off of. However, yesterday was the first day that I was using the parry mechanic because I had just unlocked it. It's pretty good in this game. If you can learn the patterns of certain enemies and the like, and you can get a parry off, it pretty much just stuns them right in their tracks. You can hit them with the riposte, and then there are pretty much 1 or 2 hits and they're dead. Bosses, which we found out at the end of yesterday's stream, it builds up their stun meter huge. So much like in Sekiro, if you just keep parrying, eventually the boss is going to get staggered, and you get a big reward for a sequence of accurate parrying, which is great, in my opinion. So, I am enjoying the game. Yesterday, what did we do in the game? Well, we returned back to the castle, which was the first major area of the game, and it had been overrun with pollution. This gunk had turned everyone into corrupted monsters, which is cool. It's kind of like the plot of, say, Dark Souls, where everything's getting corrupted or whatever. It's kind of very similar to that. And so we had a big epic showdown with the Duchess, as she was now a corrupted, boss. And then we headed out to the big city. There was actually a big city area in the game, and it was really neat to see this underwater city designed with things such as, dominoes and receipts from a supermarket, and basically trash from the top side is what turned into what they used to build this underwater city. Really cool design. After having explored the city for a bit, we then headed back out to an open ocean. So basically, this game has an open ocean area where you can explore fully, similar to the open world of Elden Ring. And we ran into an optional boss that, from what I'm to understand, is very similar, again, to the optional bosses you would run into in the open world of Elden Ring. You don't have to fight this boss now. You can actually follow set, like, walking paths, and it won't spawn. But if you go off the beaten path, it'll spawn, and then you have to basically try to avoid it. Well, I said, I'm not avoiding it. I'm fighting it. You know me. That's how I am. Tree Sentinel all over again. And so for about 40 minutes yesterday, I was fighting this optional super boss who definitely was overpowered. But after 45 minutes or so, I beat it at the very end of the stream, and I got a giant reward. To give you some perspective, I think it's between 1,800 to 2,000 microplastics. That's the souls that they use in this game to level up. And when I killed this boss, it gave me 20,000 microplastics. So I'm going to be able to level like 6, 7, maybe 8 times, depending on how much it scales, after killing this boss. And I was like, damn, that's pretty much a huge reward. It's obvious you weren't supposed to be able to beat this boss this early. And I was, which was really cool. It's like, again, it's like a real challenging boss, but you get a big reward for doing it. That's excellent. Okay? So, I am actually really liking Another Krabs Treasure. The more I play the game, the more the game is growing on me. I'm actually liking it more and more, and I can't wait for the next stream this coming Friday, which I hope you'll join me for. Again, if you like Dark Souls or Elden Ring or that style of game and you want to see me take on another brand new one, that's literally this game, just with a cutesy kind of underwater atmosphere. But man, it's fun and different and interesting, so I hope you'll join me for that. Okay? Cool. Good stuff. Last night, I returned to Street Fighter 6, and yes, I took Zangief into the ranked gameplay, and to tell you the truth, I did better than I thought I was going to do. Can you hear the chopper outside? No, you can't. You can't hear it on the mic. There's a loud chopper flying outside, a helicopter over my house, but I guess my mic filters don't pick it up anymore. It's really loud, too. Okay. So yesterday, in Street Fighter 6, here's how it went down. So first, I played some casual matches just to warm up. And in casual, I went, let's see here, 4 wins, 3 losses. Okay? 4 wins, 3 losses. Okay, not bad. At least I broke even, right? I guess I'm slightly more than even. So then I went into ranked. And let me tell you, when I played ranked with Zangief, here's what happened. First of all, I watched another top Zangief. So now I've seen 3 of the top Zangiefs in the world play, and I absorbed even more tech. I actually learned a really good combo. Anytime you jump in, it's Fierce Punch, Headbutt, Drive Rush, Headbutt, Medium, Lariat. It does like almost 40% damage on one combo. That's pretty easy to land as long as you get that punch. So I was using that all night last night, and it was going really well. Also, I learned 1 or 2 other things about spacing with Zangief that I was utilizing. So actually, I was doing better last night than I've ever done before with Zangief. I really was. I was getting to that level where I was catching and doing fun stuff. But every single time that I faced one of these overpowered top tiers, whether that be Cammy, of which I faced a ton, or Ken, it really just was like, you might as well not be playing. And it's sad, because I really feel like Zangief should have a chance, but the moment that they land one hit and push you to the corner, the game is over. You cannot escape the corner because you have to guess. You're either guessing break a throw, low block, parry, that's it. Or if they're going to do drive impact, now you have to counter drive impact as well. So you have to guess between 4 completely different things. That's only a 25% chance to escape the corner with Zangief. It's pretty darn sad, honestly. And I feel like they really need to do something about this, because we should not have a character who, the moment he's in the corner, it's game over. And that's just how it is with Zangief against any top tier. But I was doing better than I expected. I actually overall got 32 wins and 30 losses. So a net gain, I went from the beginning of 3-star diamond all the way up to 4-star, and then by the end of the night, I ended up fighting like 3 or 4 camis in a row, and I dropped it down to just below 4-star, which is fine. Overall, it was still positive progress. And as you know, I'm going to keep going ahead and trying to climb up to master with Zangief. I don't think it's going to be smooth going. I think there'll be nights that will be rough. There may be nights where maybe I don't fight the top tiers a bunch and I get a win streak. You know, we'll have to see how that goes. But man, I'm getting better. Like, the thing is, I am learning spacing and things with him and new tricks and stuff. And it's good. I have all these tools now in my repertoire that I didn't have before. It's just sad that he's just sadly not that good. It's unfortunate. You know, you want him to be so much better. Anyway, so that was yesterday, okay? Schedule-wise for this week, today, I'm very happy to announce we're continuing with Fallout 4. Man, I'm so happy that we came back to this game. Because number one, I've only played it once. Number two, it's been 9 years. And number three, playing any Fallout game in a smooth 60 frames per second environment just makes it so much more enjoyable. I am having way more fun with Fallout 4 than I actually thought I even would. And the fact that we're doing a brand new build, Idiot Savant, that I've never done before, and I'm so dumb I can't hack a terminal and I have no charisma whatsoever, but I'm just bashing my way through things, is pretty neat so far. So I'm excited for this today. 3 more hours as we continue on. I think we were on our way to free Nick Valentine, because apparently he's been captured into a vault. We need to do that and maybe get his plot lines going. I probably will start heading towards Good Neighbor. I remember Good Neighbor is the other major settlement to the far east of the map, if I remember. And that's where a lot of content and questing also unlocks. So maybe after we get Nick Valentine, then we'll head towards Good Neighbor, probably. And we'll see where the game takes us. I'm excited. I'm having a ton of fun. I'm so happy that you guys are showing up, engaging, and supporting with the Fallout streams. To be completely honest, I'm blown away. Like, it's way better than I thought it would have been. I didn't know that Fallout would have been this popular. And I guess Fallout Mania with the TV show is real. People are just very excited for Fallout content right now. Being it's only the second time I played the game, it feels very fresh, right? And the levels of support have been great, of all kinds, too. Like, I'm not just talking, oh, some people come by and tip or whatever. For me, it's been really, really fun because people are supporting in other ways. Super chats, memberships, gifted memberships. It's that community feeling coming back again. Instead of it just being, oh, a small group of people just here for this one game and a few of them will tip. It's like everyone's into it. Everyone's having a good time again. I like that. That's what I like about DSP Gaming. It's a community feeling. Everyone's enjoying themselves. It's different from the 2-3 months we were playing RPGs and it was for like a very small audience, right? It's very different. So good stuff, good vibes. Cannot wait for today's stream. Then tonight, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, it is time for the epic rematch of the century. Tonight, folks, the rematch of Phil versus Millennia in Elden Ring. I have no clue how this is going to go with this new magic build, all right? I just have no idea because I know for a fact I have way less health than I did in my first run. In my first run, I had a giant health bar, and then I had problems with her. Well, now I have a tiny health bar, right? I'm very worried about this run, how it's going to go. I guess we're going to see what ends up happening. How do I divvy out my flasks? Do I do way more healing and low MP, and then instead just use the magic sword, the Dark Moon Greatsword, and use that? Or do I have to go with way more magic and try to hit her with magic spells? But if I do, how the hell am I going to have openings because she's fast and attacks so much? I'm just kind of scratching my head of how I'm going to approach this tonight. I really have no clue. I'm also really hoping that someone on the stream will guide me towards one more golden seed, because I literally need one more and I get the final flask of the game. I'm missing one flask. And I'm like, dude, I really would like to get the final flask of the game if possible. So we have to see if there's a quick one that I can kill right away. So, we'll see how it goes. All that's left in the Elden Ring second run at this point is Millennia, and then the final boss, Radagon and the Elden Beast, and we're done. That's it. That's the end of the game. So, we will see what happens, okay? And, I hope that you will join me tonight. That is going to be epic. I know we're going to have tons of people there for it. on both sides. There'll be people cheering for me, people booing me, people who want to see me succeed, people who just want to see the journey of how long it takes me to beat her. Because you know I'm going to beat her, but the question is, how long will it take? Will I beat it tonight? Will it take me 7 streams? Who knows, right? You don't know. Last time in the first run, didn't it take me 3 streams? I think I had fought her like 1.5 hours the first stream. Second stream, it was the entire 3-hour stream. And then the third stream, I think I beat her like 2 hours in or something like that, right? So it was like a 6-7 hour fight to beat her the first time, if I remember. Some people have a lot of confidence in me. For example, Maximum Turbo says, you're going to beat her just like you defeated all the challenging bosses so far. I don't know, man. The way it's gone, it's like a lot of the bosses that were more challenging for me in the first run ended up being easy in this run. But a lot of the bosses that were easy in the first run ended up being challenging in this run. Well, she was the hardest thing in the first run. The toughest thing. Does that mean I'll steamroll her today? I don't know. I'm not convinced. I'm just not convinced it's going to be an easy going. So I guess we shall see tonight. It'll be exciting. I hope you'll be there tonight for it. If not, of course, the videos will go live right after. Okay? All right. I am off from streaming tomorrow. I hope you all have a safe and fun day. And hell, get caught up on all the fun stuff that I've been doing this last week. Another Krabs Treasure, Fallout 4, the Elden Ring playthrough. Yes, the Zangief playthrough, or the Zangief gameplays. I've been getting way better with the character. All good stuff. Of course, we had the React show over on DSP Reacts, and we have the ongoing Walking Dead Retro React on the DSP Throwback, as well as the ongoing Fallout 3 Remastered and Final Fantasy 13 Remastered playthroughs over there. Final Fantasy 13 is almost done, thankfully. So we're almost to the end of that, and then we're going to start. Oh, I made my decision. Yeah, that's right. Folks, I made my decision. The next game to be played and remastered and released on DSP Throwback will be LA Noire, because it is the one game that I don't have anywhere on the internet. It was deleted from the internet because of nonsense that happened to the channel years ago. A lot of people have been asking for it. LA Noire is next. We're going for it, all right? The music scrubbing tool that my editors are using for Fallout 3 is working. The music is not... Let me put it this way. You can still hear hints of the music being played, like the music from the radio, but you don't really hear it clearly. You can hear it a little bit like it's background noise, but it's enough that YouTube doesn't identify it. And since YouTube doesn't identify it, the videos don't get flagged, muted, or blocked. So we're lucky because a lot of the Fallout 3 music does get flagged, muted, and blocked, and in this case, it's not. So it's going well on Fallout 3. That's why we feel more confident of doing LA Noire now. Remember, LA Noire, every time you get in the car and you're driving around, the music is playing. So it's going to be a lot of that scrubbing that has to be done. Okay? Good stuff. So that's next. And then, also, I've decided what we're going to do for the marathon, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay? So when I come back on Friday, it's going to be another Krabs Treasure. And it's going to be more Street Fighter 6 for Friday Night Fights, more exclusive Zangief online ranked multiplayer, trying to get him to master. The climb continues. And then on Saturday, it's going to be more Fallout 4, paired with the likely conclusion of Elden Ring, depending on how far I've gotten against Millennia or not. We'll see. And then, of course, Sunday's React Day, and then the rest of the week we'll play by ear. But I will tell you this. Yes, Helldivers 2 will return next week as a late-night stream, one of those nights. I'm not sure which or how many, but it will return and get back into the rotation. I've heard that Helldivers 2 got a balance update that sadly makes the game harder. I don't know how they think making the game harder will satisfy players. Generally, that's not what people want, and apparently they've made the game more difficult. For someone like me who doesn't play it that often, it's probably going to be pretty frustrating. Damn, I thought the game was hard enough, right? So, I guess we shall see. Also, keep in mind, there may be other updates and games this month before new releases hit on May 21st. For example, there's this game, Little Kitty Big City, coming out. I think it's like May 9th on Game Pass, and I may give that a look because it just sounds like a cute game. And, of course, I have a pet cat, and I love cats, so maybe it would be a fun game for streams. We'll see. Yeah, we will address the schedule and the like when we need to moving forward, okay? Now, the marathon at the end of this month, I think it's time to address it and set it in stone. Originally, this was going to be a fighting game marathon, but then I realized I can't ever use Fightcade because it exposes my IP and trolls would definitely get it and mess with me. So I can't do that, right? Then we thought maybe a Rageathon, but a lot of people basically talked me out of it and were like, you know, what's going to happen is people are going to nominate a bunch of games, and what's going to end up happening is they're just not going to be rage-inducing. You'll have like 3 maybe that are rage-inducing and like 7 that aren't. It's going to be a bad marathon, just like the last few times you did it. And I was like, all right, well, all right, how about something that we haven't done in many, many, many years? Okay? How about an Indies marathon? But I have an even better idea than just an Indies marathon. Ladies and gentlemen, how about this? How about PC Indies marathon? Meaning all games off of Steam. You guys can pick, nominate, and vote on Indies games off of Steam that we could sit down and play on my mini PC. It will literally be an entire day of me just playing things off the mini PC. That way, the mini PC will actually get some use instead of just sitting here being unused. I mean, one of the main things I was going to do was Fightcade, and now I can't do Fightcade, right? So let's, you guys know better than me. You guys would know way better than me what games are cool to play on PC. And it has to be indie. It can't be, oh, it's some giant game that's ultra popular. It has to be more indie style, you know. So I'm curious what you guys will come up with. And so I think it is time. Are you ready? As of this morning, it is time to do it. Let's set up a thread by which you guys can nominate games for the upcoming Indies Marathon event. And by the way, you might say, well, when will it be? Well, I'm belching right now uncontrollably. Oh my God, I can't stop belching. It's absolutely disgusting. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm just exploding here. Let's do it the final weekend of May. So that would either be May 25th or May 26th. I guess it could be either. It doesn't really matter. But if we do May 25th, at least it won't interfere with the React schedule. So why don't we do that? It's about 3.5 weeks. Let's say it'll be Saturday, May 25th. And let's go ahead. I'm now going to do a public post. Hello, everyone. I am here to announce that my next big marathon event on DSP Gaming is a PC Indies event. During, or I'll say on, Saturday, May 25th, all day long, I will be playing PC indie games as nominated and voted on by you, the viewers. Please use this thread to nominate games for the upcoming event. After 2 weeks or so, I will tally up the most nominated games to formulate a poll which you will vote on to determine which of them will actually get some playtime during my marathon. Only criteria here, please make sure the games will run well on my mini PC. I gave out the specs last year, and that they do not cost a ton. I cannot buy 6 to 10 games for this event that cost $60+ each. Thanks. Happy nominating and good luck. So, that's the thread. I'm going to post up on the community tab right now. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a command in Nightbot. Okay. That's going to actually have this be posted in the chat automatically every once in a while, and that you will have a chat command. Someone already liked it. Damn, you guys are fast. There'll be a chat command that you guys can use to bring it up to nominate the games. So let me go ahead and I'm going to add a command, indies. Click here to nominate games for the upcoming PC Indies Marathon event. Thanks and good luck. Okay. So first of all, let's give it a second, and then let's test and actually make sure that that works, the command. Because once the command works, then I'm going to set a timer. It'll auto play after every once in a while. Okay? Let's see if the indies command works. Give Nightbot a second here. There it is, and now we click on that and make sure the link works. And indeed, the link works. Cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a timer on that. So every once in a while, Nightbot will auto-post that. Every 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes, it'll post that in chat. Cool. There we go. So now we have throwback, reacts, gift, membership, Patreon, tip, Indies Marathon, and suggestion, all as auto commands. Cool. All right. So that is all set up and good to go. So please start nominating. Now, just to remember, when you post up anything on my channel, it has to be approved by me. It's a little screening process that YouTube makes sure there's no obscene comments and things like that. So if you start posting up now and you're like, oh, I don't get it, it's not showing up, that's because I have to review and reprove it, which I will do later today. Okay, so no worries. Post up your nominations for the upcoming PC Indies Marathon, which will be held on Saturday, May 25th. And yes, during that day, of course, we'll have some food, we'll have some booze, we'll do all the usual stuff that we do during one of my fun marathon events. Okay? Cool. That should be something fun and different, to play a bunch of games that I haven't been exposed to before. I like that. And keep in mind, in previous years, when we used to do these kind of indie marathons, a lot of the times, a few of the games I would like so much, we would end up going back and playing them as full playthroughs. So I'm definitely excited. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we just got through everything, absolutely everything that I wanted to talk about today. I have one shout out to do so far. It's Jacob, who just did a super chat. He says, I'm a daily Helldivers player here. The update is fine. Weapon balancing and such, I truly haven't noticed a difference. If that's the case, then that's good. You know, for me, you know, I don't play it that much. I play it maybe twice a week. And I, you know, as we're at the harder difficulties now, because I need to be, thank you, by the way, for the super chat. I need to be at those higher difficulties to unlock the samples, the better samples, with a pink class of samples, so I can keep upgrading things like my eagle abilities. It's just really rough. Like the fights are, or the missions are tough, and that's good. But if I'm just barely surviving as of now, and now they're gonna make it even harder for someone like me who doesn't play it often, it might be too much. I don't know. I hope not. I hope that it ends up still being fun. I guess we'll have to see when I play it again next week. Okay. So anyway, all right, good stuff. So that was the one shout out I had, was the super chat from Jacob. Nothing else has come in yet today. So here's what we're gonna do. Today is laid back day. Today is relaxing day. There is no pressure. We don't have to do anything on the show. So what I'd like to do is open up the show to the viewers. If a contribution comes in, I will shout it out. But what do you guys want to talk about? Tag me in the chat. Let's do some Q&A back and forth. Let's see what you want to discuss for the 1st of May. A brand new month. I'm sure you guys got stuff on your mind. Would I like a cookie? No, I'm not in the mood for a cookie right now. I have my breakfast, my coffee, and I'm good. Will I pick Akuma when he comes out? Yes, Jack. I will be trying out Akuma when he comes out. I'm more interested now than I was when Ed came out. I really don't care about Ed, but Akuma I'm interested in. Do I like spiders? I think they're neat. I don't like them. You know, I don't collect them. I don't play with them. I think they're neat though. What's up, Game Boy? Because I've submitted several different indie games already. Thank you. I will review those later today and approve them. Joel Loft says Fallout 4's performance upgrade definitely helps, but it's irrefutable. The TV show plays a huge role in Fallout's revival, don't you think? Oh, of course. There probably would not be much interest in Fallout right now if the TV show didn't exist. Why? Because there hasn't been a good new Fallout product in ages. Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, the last two, and 76 was a failure at launch. It's improved over time, but I played it. I watched my wife play it, I should say. It's a single-player game, and man, it was terrible. What do I think about a Fallout game being made by someone besides Bethesda, besides Darkness? It's a good idea. Obsidian did a great job, and they would do a good job again, or someone else would. The problem is, Obsidian's busy doing their own stuff now. Like, they were outright told by Bethesda, no, don't make an Elder Scrolls, don't make Fallout, do your own thing. So that's what they're doing. So they can't all of a sudden now be told and redirected to make one. So I don't know what's going to happen. You know, they're trying to fast track something, but what? Game Boy suggests we do a test stream before the PC Indies night. What we could do is test certain games and see how they run. Oh, we could, but the thing is, it's kind of like, here's the thing. Let's say, for example, 50 games get nominated. Then we tally them up. We get the top 10, right? Top 10 most nominated. And then we run a poll. And the poll will tell us the order that we play the games, or, you know, how popular the games are. So we have, okay, these 5 are guaranteed. And then maybe we have like 1 or 2 standby games, right? So that sounds like a good idea. Thing is, you know, what I'll probably end up doing is like the top 5, I'll buy them outright so we can play them. And then I'll just not get the rest yet, because we don't know how long we're going to play each game. You might boot up the first game and play it, and it's really good, and we want to play it for like 90 minutes or more. Then we might get to the second game, you're like, oh, this one's not very good. We'll play it for like half an hour, and then we're done with it. It depends on the game, right? It depends on what is the gameplay loop, how immersive it is, etc. So, I can definitely see it going different ways. But what I don't want to do is be like, oh, buy 10 games, right, to test them all the night before, to come to find out that we don't like half of them and I'll never play them again, and I ended up spending $300 for this event, right? So it really depends, but maybe we could at least test the top voted games like the night before or a couple days before. We'll see. I think it's a good idea. No, I've never tried eating a spider. Did I see news on Starfield getting 60 FPS? Nobody cares. Like, I've seen Starfield news. Oh, we're updating it, better performance and patches. No one cares. No one's going to play Starfield. The game sucks. The game's story is atrociously bad. It's boring as dirt. It's nowhere near as good as Fallout or Elder Scrolls. It doesn't matter how much they improve the graphics. The game is shit. So I don't give a fuck about it. I really don't. Like, all the news that they're trying to come out, Bethesda's like, oh, didn't you hear the news about Starfield? No one cares about Starfield. You have a hit show of Fallout, and you're offering a shitty Starfield. No one wants that. That's like saying, oh, man, you just watched an amazing show about the history of making lobster, right? And then they said, oh, by the way, our new product is a burnt chicken sandwich. Here it is. Wait, what? No, I want lobster. I just saw this amazing documentary about lobster. No, here's your burnt chicken sandwich. Fuck you. Take your burnt chicken sandwich and fucking shove it out the airlock. Big Fridge asks, if you didn't find success as an entertainer, what other business would you be in? I have no idea. Like I said, my jobs were all over the place. For 5 years, I worked fast food. Then I worked at Circuit City for a couple of years. Then I worked at a financial company called Wells Fargo Financial that I thought was a bank, but ended up being a predatory lender. And I was like, oh shit, that really sucks, because I didn't realize it was a predatory lender at all when I started there. And then come to find out they absolutely were. Then I worked at Best Buy for about a year, and that was a joke. Then I worked for a helicopter company for 4.5 years, and then I became a YouTuber. So, I mean, I have worn many hats in my run, you know, working out there in the world, and I have no clue what I would end up doing if I wasn't a YouTuber. I really have no idea. Let's see here. What's the most unique dish I've ever eaten ever? Oh, man, that would be a tough thing to think about. The most unique dish I've ever had ever in history. Well, I can definitely tell you one thing that I had that I never thought would have been good that blew me away. I went to a Thai restaurant, okay? And I ordered a fish thinking, oh, this is going to be like a prepared fish cut up and put into a dish. Oh, no. They brought it out, and it was a big-ass fish with scales on and everything. And I was like, oh, I had no idea this is what it was going to be. So at first look, I was pretty like, oh, no, getting kind of grossed out, thinking this was not going to be very good. And then I started to eat it. I was like, this thing is fucking amazing. It was bursting with flavor. Yes, bursting with flavor. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, it's one of the best things I've ever tasted. It was seasoned well. The scales weren't hard or anything. They were just everything. It was like melt in your mouth fish. And I was just so blown away that, I was like, okay, now I understand. Now I totally understand why people eat it like that. It might not look appetizing because it looks like the original creature, but absolutely it was great. So I'd probably say that was the weirdest thing I ever ate that ended up being very, very delicious. But I haven't really gone that weird eating. Like, I never went out of my way to eat a weird dish, right? So for me, it's like I don't really have that much in that category to talk about, right? I don't think I've read many or any mangas. Back in the day, I read some One Piece online and some Naruto online, but I'm not a manga reader. So, Mr. AG says they're making FIFA 22. Or don't you mean 24? One of the free games to download for the month on PlayStation. I listen you to a sports event. A sports event? Even I don't think I would want to do a sports event. Like, every once in a while, doing a sports game in the mix is okay for variety. I've done them over the years. In fact, I played them all. I've played FIFA, I've played NBA 2K, I've played Madden, and I've even played NHL years past. But man, an entire day bouncing between sports games, I don't think I could even stomach that. I'd probably be pretty bored, honestly. What is my favorite kind of fish? I don't have one. There's so many different kinds of fish that are delicious. Tuna, both cooked and raw. Salmon, both cooked and raw. Tilapia is good. Cod is good. Haddock is good. Pollock is good. Shit, I can keep going. I can think of all the different kinds of fish that I've eaten, and then we didn't even get into shellfish yet, right? They're all pretty good. David says, would I review Star Trek? Paramount. Oh, you're saying it's on Paramount Plus? I might. The thing is, I used to like Star Trek. I used to watch Next Generation weekly with my dad. And then when Deep Space Nine came out, we also used to watch that. But then after that, I kind of fell off. Years later, I ended up getting caught up, and I did watch all of Deep Space Nine, all of Voyager, and I liked them. But outside of that, I haven't really watched any more Star Trek. I heard that Enterprise was not good. And I guess there's a couple new shows that have come out now that I haven't seen a single episode of, nor do I really care to. So I don't know. I don't know if I would ever get Paramount Plus just to start watching Star Trek again. I don't think I'm going to get back into it too heavily. Excuse me. Have I ever had mahi mahi? I believe I've had mahi mahi in tacos. I think I had fish tacos that had mahi mahi in it. And mahi mahi was all right, but it was definitely better when it had like a slaw that had a flavor to it, and that was why the taco tasted good, not necessarily the fish, if I remember correctly. Can we finish Harold Halibut? I've answered this question a ton. No one seemed to want the end of it. When we were playing it, people were utterly bored and said, don't play this again. Our viewership went from over 400 viewers down to 200 during the stream, but I don't see myself going back to play it again, no. No, I did not have a favorite character when watching the Fallout show. I don't play favorites. If YouTube and culture didn't change, would I still have changed my comedy style? As you get older, you mature more, hopefully, because some people don't. Let's be honest. There's some people out there that are just jackasses and dumb fucking immature kids their whole lives. They're fucking wastes of life. But if you're an intelligent human, you mature more as you get older, and your tastes change. And for me, that's exactly what happened. When I was younger, I liked more immature humor. Now I don't really care for it anymore. I think that happens to a lot of people. So, no, I think I still would have changed regardless. High's Darkness is when you finish Fallout 4, will you do a video comparing it to the Fallout show where it can go for both the show and the games? No. I'm not a YouTube Fallout lore person. I don't make those kind of videos. There's a surprisingly large amount of people who do. Like I said, when the Fallout show came out, all of a sudden that one week there was like 1,000 Fallout lore videos on YouTube about the show versus the games, and people come out of the woodwork to try to nitpick and shit, but I'm just not one of them. To me, listen, I enjoy the Fallout universe. I don't care if everything is canon or not. I don't care if all the plots jive or not. I just really don't. For me, I could sit back and say, this is meant to be an entertainment product. This is meant to just be fun to watch and enjoy. We're not supposed to microanalyze it for every detail because that's taking it too far out of the realm of fantasy and into the realm of spending too much of your reality microanalyzing something that's just supposed to be some frivolous fun. Some people just don't understand that they can't separate fantasy from reality. They think that microanalyzing Fallout as a universe is some kind of useful importance of their life. It's not. They're literally wasting time of their life. I don't get that. I just sit there and enjoy it for what it is. All right, and that's my take. You can disagree, and that's fine. I totally understand. There are rabid fan bases for everything. I'm just not a part of it. Okay? No, I did not see anything about Horizon Zero Dawn getting an upgrade. What on earth would Horizon Zero Dawn need an upgrade for? What does that mean? Han Solo, which song are you talking about? Is it the metal song? Han Solo says he likes the new song that's added to the pre-stream music. Yeah, I think it was that Naruto song that I had from years ago. Turned into like a heavy metal song. It's really good. So that's been added to the playlist we listen to. Big Fridge collabs are something that I've stayed away from for many years because of my trolls. No matter who it would be that I collabed with would likely be mass harassed and treated like complete dirt by my trolls. So because of that, I stay away from any collab opportunities. I don't want the negativity of this black cloud that follows me around to affect someone else unfairly. So that's why I don't do them. Now, I'm not saying no, absolutely not, never. I'm just saying it's probably not likely because someone would have to have some really fucking thick skin to be able to take on my trolls. You know what I'm saying? Joel Off says target windows for Xbox games have seemingly been revealed. Starfield DLC is coming in September. Nobody cares. Avowed in November. That's cool. Indiana Jones in December. Didn't we already know that? I thought we already knew Indiana Jones was coming out in December. So, Avowed, I'm excited for Avowed. I don't know why people are crapping on Avowed. I think it looks fine. It's a cool world, a good look, like a cool aesthetic to the world. It looks like what we wanted, another Elder Scrolls game that they refused to make. So it's kind of like a good game to fill the gaps until we get a real Elder Scrolls. I think it's going to be very good. No, I've not seen the Black Ops 6 leaks. Let me guess. There's guns, and you shoot things. And there's zombies. That's going to be my three guesses. Guns, shooting things with said guns, and zombies. Right? Big spoilers. What's a quick meal that we like to make? Tortellini soup. You take tortellini of your choice, chicken sausage, beans of any kind, but we've had different ones like Catalini or Great Northern beans. Chunks of tomatoes that you can buy at the store. You get regular tomatoes, Italian style, whatever. Sometimes you can throw some things like herbs, spices, or kale in there, and then chicken stock. And you literally just put them all together in a big pot, and you put it to a boil. And you've got a delicious soup that took little to no work, and it's a good variety of ingredients. You get a bunch of food groups in there. Absolutely delicious dinner, and it's fast to make. There you go. Release the recipe? I literally just told you the recipe. That's what I just did. Can I sing Bohemian Rhapsody? I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, Scaramouche, can you do the fandango? Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, 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 Figaro. Beelzebub has a 7-foot aside for me. Okay. That's for Wayne's World. That's how I know the song. Like, I knew the song before, but then when Wayne's World, the movie, came out in the 90s, everyone learned the song. Because it was the big part of Wayne's World everyone knew. that they sing the song in the car, right? Favorite X-Men in the animated series? Wolverine. At that point, everyone's favorite was Wolverine. In the 90s, he was the anti-hero everyone loved, and Wolverine out the butt, basically. No, we're not bringing back Community Nights of Street Fighter 6. Quite frankly, they were fun for the little bit that they lasted, but then they just got played out and tired. Whenever I did them, everyone complained. Oh, is this the night when Phil just beats up on Scrubs again? And I was like, you wanted Community Night. Like, you asked for it. So I give it to you, and then I just win all night, and then people would complain that I won all night. I'm like, then why are we doing Community Night? It's like, if I do Community Night, you complain it's boring. If I don't do Community Night, you complain I'm not doing Community Night. So you can't have it both ways. So fuck it. I'll just do what I want. We won't do Community Night. There you go. Am I going to see the Deadpool and Wolverine movie? Maybe eventually. I didn't even see the last Deadpool movie, so I don't know. If they remake Chrono Trigger, would I want it Final Fantasy VII Rebirth style or Octopath style? You know, I want it to play like Chrono Trigger. But I think with Rebirth or Remake, they're fine games. They look beautiful. They follow the plot to some extent of the originals, but they don't play anything like the original game, right? They are truly a totally new entity. If Chrono Trigger came out again, I want it to play like Chrono Trigger. I want it to have turn-based combat that has an element of teaming up and timing things properly. Maybe you could add a new thing. Maybe there could be like a stagger system or something in there so the combat does have a new spin. But I want it to be similar. I don't want them to change the entire formula of what the game is just the sake of re-releasing it, you know? No, I never played Leisure Suit Larry. I know all about them. They were infamous in the 90s. They were the adult games for PC that kiddies should stay away from, but I never played a single one. I received a $5 tip from a handsome tuna roll. I'm catching up with your Fallout 4 playthrough. I don't like how you've treated Paladin Dance. He's done a lot for me in my playthrough. Treat others how you want to be treated, I'm saying. Wow. This handsome tuna roll is very upset with me of how I treated Paladin Dance. What do you mean? I'm basically just purposely like picking the dialogue options that are kind of like confrontational because I think that that's something different that I usually don't do. And I'm curious to see how they pan out. Like, will you piss certain people off, or does it really not matter? So far, it doesn't even look like it matters, right? It looks like the dialogue, it just kind of does whatever it wants, and it's not a big deal. The plot still continues, even if you're being, like, offensive or whatever. So, that's really the only reason why I'm doing it. But I'm not trying to be offensive to Paladin Dance, nor do I think I have, and I think you're being kind of silly there. Thank you for the tip. Did I ever go to any cool parties? Son, I threw the cool parties. I was the party guy in college. Our dorm room was the one that everyone went to every weekend, hung out, and drank, which we weren't supposed to do because we weren't even 21 yet. But we did it anyway because we didn't give a shit. And that all ended within one semester because we got in trouble. Game Boy says, are you going to do anything to celebrate Star Wars Day? I brought Legos. No. Actually, there's nothing Star Wars on Star Wars Day this year, right? Nothing. No games or anything are out right now. I guess if we could... see, the thing is, could I do some Star Wars Battlefront collection on Star Wars Day? Yeah, we could, because that would be Saturday night, but that would mean no Elden Ring, no Helldivers. We'd delay it. We could do that. Do you want to do that? Maybe we could, right? It's up to you guys. You want to see some Star Wars Battlefront on May the 4th, right? Which would be Saturday night. I would do that. Change the schedule around a little bit. Some people are saying, yes, that would be cool. And others are like, please, no. Please, no. What's one of my favorite things from DSP Tries It? Man. See, when I first started the show, it was like, try the most random things possible. I would try an energy drink, and it was disgusting. I would spit it out, right? Or I would try a random freaking marshmallow that was caffeine infused, right? But then over the years, it just kind of became try the new fast food item. And some of them ended up being good. Like, remember the Angry Whopper? It was actually good. Remember, man, I'm trying to think. Some of the stuff we got from Arby's over the years, the different sandwiches and stuff, they were pretty good. I remember this burger that they had at McDonald's one. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a big seasoned juicy patty, and I think it was supposed to be like fresh beef before they had the fresh beef on the quarter pounder. And it had like lettuce and tomato and a special sauce, and it was super good. I was like, wow, McDonald's has a good burger. And within like 4 months, they discontinued it and never brought it back. And I was like, what a bunch of idiots. That's just what they do. They bring in one good thing and they just fucking get rid of it, right? So I can't remember what it was, but you know, the cool thing about DSP Tries It was it lasted many, many years, and you get to kind of almost see the history of fast food over that period of time. Now it's funny. Now there's an entire genre of YouTubers who literally just do fast food. They just sit there and they eat every new piece of fast food in their car or at home, and they're known for it, and they get millions of views doing it. I was grassroots, man. I was the little guy doing it, right? Getting a few thousand views on the videos back in the day. It was fun to do as a part of my content, the variety that I did. Maybe some of the Battlefront campaign. I don't even know. What's the point of the Battlefront campaign? Is there even a reason to do it? Will I be trying Visions of Mana? Well, it's Game Pass, right? Visions of Mana. So since it's Game Pass, I might give it a shot to see if anyone likes it. But then again, it's a JRPG, and we all know we got to stay the fuck away from JRPGs right now because everyone seems to hate them on my content anyway. Shame. I love JRPGs, but not my viewers. Just take a look at April versus January, February, March. This channel, big increase in views, big increase in engagement, big increase in support, like a big spike, just because I stopped playing so many JRPGs. So it speaks, results speak for themselves, right? Dark Forces Remastered, I didn't even know that had come out. And then I saw it was like on sale for a big discounted price, and I was like, I didn't even know the game was out. So I don't know. I never played Dark Forces back in the day, so I don't know what the game's like. So I don't know if I would like it or not, honestly. I don't even know what it plays like. Is it a first-person shooter? Scale Scholar, that is incorrect. Is it the channel came back alive when we finished Like a Dragon? Wrong. The channel came back alive when we finished Baldur's Gate. Again, so many of you, I hate to say, are big-time kind of fanboys of Baldur's Gate. I liked the game. I wasn't in love with it like many of you. But, dude, the moment we finished that game and I started bringing variety back to this channel instead of playing that so much, this channel went whoop, way back up to where it belongs. Big spike. And I was like, this is great. I was so happy. Any idols when I was growing up? Yes, I always wanted to be like Cher. And I would always wear very pale face makeup. I actually grew my hair out like her. I teased it so it would have that waviness. And I used to walk around and sing like, do you believe in love after love? Yes, it's a true story. I never played Ghost Rider on PS2. No. Am I going to try Killer Clowns from Outer Space? No, because it's another one of these asymmetric horror games. It's just the same game again, and I'm not interested. Have I ever worked 2 jobs in the past at the same time? No, I would. See, here's the thing. Back in the day, you could actually get hours at jobs. I shit you not, like if you wanted to work and you were good at your job, they would let you get more hours. So like if I wanted to make more money, I would just say, hey, can I have more hours at the job? And they would give it to me. That fast food job that I worked for like 5 years, sometimes I worked like 20-hour weeks. Sometimes I worked 40-plus hour weeks. And they let me because they liked me. They thought you're a good worker. You can have the hours. So I didn't have to work 2 jobs. Today, you're lucky if you can find a job that will give you more than 20 hours. So a lot of people have to juggle 2 to 3 jobs to make ends meet, to do enough work to pay their rent, which is really fucked up and shouldn't be how America is, but it is, you know? The only thing I would say is when I was in college, I was working while I was in college. So when I wasn't at my job making money, I was literally in class. And then the very little free time I had, I would try to play Street Fighter. So I basically had like 3 jobs when I was in college, going to class and passing, working to pay for the school, and also playing Street Fighter. It was like 3 parts of my life at that time. It was really hectic. What's the most anticipated game this year? I don't even know, because we don't even know most of the games coming out later in the year. If you remember back on my birthday marathon about a month ago now, we sat down and we looked at all of the games coming out for the year, and looking at everything here, like just to run through some of the ones that we're waiting on, right? Hellblade 2, the System Shock remake, the Street Fighter 6 Akuma update and balance patch, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake, Multiverses, Still Wakes the Deep, the Elden Ring DLC, the Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD remake, Agatha Christie's ABC Murders, Black Myth Wukong, Star Wars Outlaws, Stalker 2, and Warhammer 40k Space Marine. Those are the only games that had dates. So I'm sure there's going to be way more games than that, but when nothing has a release date, you can't really get hyped for it. So out of those, I'd probably say the Elden Ring DLC and probably Black Myth Wukong, and that's it. Like, there's nothing else to get hyped for because we don't even know what else is coming out, you know? There you go. If I could say one thing to Todd Howard, what would it be? Boop! Boop! There you go. I don't know. Black Myth Wukong, from what we've seen, looks good. But we actually ever seen someone play it, or we just seen what they wanted us to see? I don't know. Joloff says, picture a modern Star Wars Republic Commando remake with all of the spectacle of a Call of Duty campaign. That would be amazing. No, sounds like it has a lot of potential. I don't know, because I never played Republic Commando. At least I don't think I did. This guy says Black Myth Wukong does look too good to be true. Hope it's good. Did I enjoy Star Wars The Force Unleashed 1 and 2? 1 was good, but had a lot of flaws, but still was a fun game. 2 was less fun. Surprisingly, I didn't like it as much as the first one. But then again, I only played each of them once, so. Republic Commando was an underrated game. Oh, yeah? I don't remember. I remember the name. I think I remember the box, but I don't remember I never think I ever played it. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, nice laid back day. I enjoy laid back days. I do. Okay? Hair of the dog. Good to see you. Thank you for the first super chat here. I take that back. That's the second super chat. Jacob did a super chat earlier. Sorry about that, Jacob. But thank you, Hair of the Dog, for the latest super chat. What is my favorite Pokemon? Why is it Blastoise? It's not. It's Gyarados. Because from the lowly Magikarp to the majestic flying dragon thingy, I like Gyarados. Oh, let's see here. Thank you, Tyrone. Tyrone says, sorry to hear about those chargebacks the other day. Glad to hear you're bouncing back. Yes, yesterday was a very well-supported day. Thank you to anyone who supported yesterday. Again, guys, today, support would be very much appreciated. Trying to make up for over $200 in chargebacks the other day. So if we have 2 great streams today, it would definitely help out with that. Please consider supporting the content if you like it. Jade, you're not going to stick around for today? All right, well, Jade, keep in mind that I'm not here tomorrow. I'm back on Friday, okay? If you're not going to stick around. What is up, Shake My Hand? How are you today? Am I going to check out Shin Megami Tensei 5? No. Does my chair lean back? No. Well, it does have a leg rest. That pops up. So I could put up my legs if I felt like it. Like this. But it does not lean back. It stays in this upright position. The leg rest is nice, but I always forget I have it. And I don't have a lot of space for it. Like, if I use it, I just kind of have to have it stuck right here. I can't really rotate any direction because it has to fit between this desk and this table. So it kind of has to just stay just like this, which is fine. It still works. But, I don't know. I always just tend to put my feet on the floor. Have I heard of Easy Red 2, a World War II game? No, never heard of it. Am I happy megas are coming back in Pokemon? I don't even know. What is a mega? You got me. I don't even know what you're talking about. Maximum Turbo, that's an incredibly unprofessional question that you would ask me in the chat. Stop that right now. Does the chair go up and down? No. The chair stays where it is. It just stays still. I know the cool zoom in trick I do with OBS with the blue border. You wish I would do it more. Oops. No, I don't know what you're talking about. I have absolutely no clue what this zoom in trick that I use with the border. You've lost me. What the heck are you talking about, man? By the way, I wonder what he's talking about. I think about it for a second. I just forget about these. I forget that I even have them. I don't even think about it after a while. It just kind of. By the way, I have my legs out. I'm relaxing now because I have the footrest out. I'm totally chilling now because you mentioned it. Double M says, what would you prefer more? A full modern Grand Theft Auto? It went away. A full modern Grand Theft Auto Vice City remake or a full Fallout 3 remake? Fallout 3 for sure. Tama Jam, thank you for a super chat. He says you should play more Street Fighter. I will be playing more Street Fighter on Friday night for Friday Night Fights. Absolutely. And when they do this rebalance, likely I'll be playing even more, depending on how the rebalance goes. 672. All right, I see your message, but let me look. Oh, okay, just no wonder they just sent the emails. That's why I didn't see them. They literally just sent them, right? All right, we'll have to look at it later. Oh, hold on, because a bunch of stuff went into my junk folder, so I got to put a bunch of stuff as emails to read later. That's not junk. No, and this is not junk, and this is not junk. Okay, I'll have to take a look at that later. Thank you for telling me 672. Okay. Yes. If you so happen to email me something and you notice that I'm not responding, it's probably because you hit my junk folder because I get so much junk email that a lot of shit gets auto sorted to the junk folder. But if you just tell me about it, then I can look into it. Yeah. Well, I'll be doing a video discussing the balance changes when the patch drops. Maybe. Here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna put my legs down now. So apparently, and this is so weird, an initial changes list got leaked on the internet somewhere. And after the initial changes list leaked, a bunch of people translated it out of Japanese into English. This is the Street Fighter 6 balance patch coming out on May 22nd, by the way. And so I read through the list this morning. And although some of the changes seem good, some of them don't make any sense. And then there's some that there's nothing that just doesn't make any sense. So, for example, one of the improvements, they're making that Blanca's 2-hit overhead headbutt, which is forward plus medium punch, now is better because what was happening was people were trying to drive rush and use it, and people would just mash throw, and throw would beat it. And it doesn't make sense. Throw should not be beating a drive rushed overhead. So they changed the properties of the overhead, so now it will stuff throws. Sounds good to me. Okay. Zangi, the headbutt, which is forward and heavy punch, they made it even better. They made it, he has even more advantage on it. So he can do it almost perfectly safe in every circumstance now. Perfect move to set up other things. Sounds good. But some weird things, like for example, they apparently nerfed Lily. They nerfed Lily. What the fuck? How does that make any sense? She already is one of the worst in the game, and they nerfed the properties of one of her moves. And then oddly enough, there's like a bunch of characters that don't have balance changes at all. Like Marisa isn't changed at all. Like there's 4 or 5 characters that don't have listed changes. And people are like, why would there be no changes for some characters at all? Dalsim, who needs changes, has no changes. So people are scratching their head, why would that be? It sounds like this is an initial list and it's incomplete. It doesn't sound like the list is complete at all. It sounds like the first idea or the first draft, but it doesn't have everything in it. And the people who are reading it are like, if this is the whole list for a year for just these changes, is not, this isn't enough. The game's going to play too similarly. One of the most nerfed characters is Luke. They dramatically, apparently they reduced his damage output entirely, and they nerfed a bunch of his different moves. Also, back throwing, meaning when you grab someone, you throw them backwards rather than forwards. Apparently, they nerfed that because it used to be you could do it and then lead it into loops and stuff, and they made it so that's way more delayed or spaced or something like that. So basically, you cannot do throw loops doing back throws anymore. So that's a big change. Drive reversal they made much better. Supposedly, drive reversal is dramatically better now. And what people are saying, and this I don't understand, again, this is leaked, right? Leaked balance changes. You can do drive reversal on wake up. What the fuck does that even mean? You do drive reversal by blocking and then pushing forward and pressing the 2 buttons together, or by pressing the drive button. How can you do that on wake up? That doesn't even make sense. Like, there's no block to push forward, and you're waking up from the ground. There's no block. So I don't even understand what that means. Drive reversal is now available on wake up. Huh? The fuck are you talking about? It confuses the shit out of me. So, like I said, I feel like this is a list of changes that's not complete, that was leaked, and so people are trying to make heads or tails of it right now. But like some people have said, if this is the true list of changes, it doesn't make sense. Why would you nerf Lily? Why would you leave a bunch of bottom tier characters untouched? You know what they did? They nerfed Honda. Yeah, it says Honda's butt slam. After he lands, he pushes you back. So no longer can Honda do a butt slam and then jab. The jab will whiff. It pushes you so far back after the block, the jab whiffs. So he can't do butt slam, jab, butt slam, jab, butt slam, jab like he does on a lot of people. He can't do that anymore. And also, apparently, what used to happen with Honda's headbutt, let's say he did a headbutt and you jumped. He would go under you, right? Now, supposedly what's going to happen is he does headbutt, you jump, he stops where you are, so you can get a free punish. So that means his headbutt would be completely worthless. No one would ever use his headbutt ever again except in a combo. So, again, if these changes are true, this doesn't make any sense. Some of it, like, Honda's already bottom tier, and you're nerfing him. Like, what, are you stupid? People want improvements, not nerfs to characters that aren't good. So, again, maybe this is just bullshit. Again, when they do these listings or whatever, who knows, right? This was not official from Capcom. It wasn't like, oh, this is it, here, read this and reference it or whatever. So, let's see what happens in the next month or so, 3 weeks or so, until this balance patch comes out. I get the feeling it's going to be a lot more than what's initially been leaked, or that this may be an incomplete listing. Who knows? Mr. AG107 did a super chat, says an interesting throwback rematch with Rewatch, excuse me. Psychonauts or Brutal Legend for both Double Fine games that I missed from my childhood. I guess that could be. I don't remember. I think they were both camera playthroughs, right? The way I see it, with the Retro React series that I'm doing over on the DSP Throwback channel, we're trying to think of the most, like, classic big playthroughs that people really liked from back in the day and would like to see me play again. I'm curious what will be next. Like, after Walking Dead, some people have thrown around Wolf Among Us, and I'm like, hey, I would like to do Wolf Among Us, but that's a lot of narrative style games in a row. to watch. I mean, that would be Heavy Rain, then Walking Dead, then Wolf Among Us back to back to back. I would think that maybe people will come up with something that's a little bit more action oriented or something, like maybe going back to Dark Souls, but people apparently didn't want that. I don't know. I'm very curious what people will want after Walking Dead. We only have 2 weeks left. We got Sunday and one more. Then we got to figure something out. So we're going to have to talk about it sooner rather than later. Okay. Wow, it's 12:30. Holy shit. Dude, time flies on this stream. It's 12:30 already. I don't know it was 12:30. I had no idea. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me on this chill podcast today. I hope you're enjoying. Team Terrorhawk says, happy you're doing Melee on Fallout. I'm enjoying it so far. What about the old Transformers game? Maybe. Yeah, again, there's so many games I played back in the day that are retro react candidates. So I'm curious what people will come up with. Joloff says, what if we wrap up the podcast sooner so we'll have more Fallout 4? We could. We could, if people don't have any other things they want to talk about. We could jump back. We could jump into Fallout. It's up to you. What do you think? Are we out of stuff to chat about? Or do you want to start Fallout early? Or does someone have a hot topic, a burning topic they need to discuss? Like an annoying rash that keeps itching. You need to scratch. Are there any final things to talk about? Well, Maximum Turbo, I'm glad you enjoyed the podcast. Han Solo says, can't wait for the new Fallout character to be added to the stream overlay. I know, right? These are the first 6, but Spoon is coming. Shall we adjourn? If you guys are down, I'll adjourn early. How's my day going? My day is young, but so far, so good. So far, I've literally just showered, shaved, ate my breakfast, played with Jasper Kitty, spent some time with my wife, and I did the podcast with you guys. That's my day so far. No, we're not doing suggestion box. You'll be in and out today? All right, that's all good, Jade. Have I seen the guy that plays Ghoul in other TV shows? Walter Goggins? Yeah, I've seen him in a bunch of different TV shows over the years, for sure. He's a great, what they call him is a character actor. What that means is typically he's not chosen to be the lead of a series, but he's always doing a particular, very important, influential, and great supporting character, and he needs to get credit for that. Just because you're not selected to be the lead of a series doesn't mean you're not important. A lot of character actors over the years don't get the credit they deserve. He's a really good character actor, and it just so happens in this case, they did choose him to be the lead of this show, and look how he shined, right? He was in Django Unchained, Sons of Anarchy. People are bringing up all the stuff he's been in before. He was in The Shield. I did not see Westworld. No, I did not. Bonos Temo says, any fallout from Fightcade issues last week or any additional updates? I mean, what updates would there be? I'm just not playing it. I'm just not playing Fightcade. I'm not risking my IP address getting out there and trolls fucking with my streams. So the answer is no Fightcade, and I guess we're just never doing it. And I doubt they'll ever fix that. So I guess I can never play classic fighting games unless they have console versions. What else can I say or do, right? I guess that's it. That's right. He was in Hateful Eight too. That's right. I forgot about that. Angel of Vitality says, if no one else has the issue with Fightcade, I don't see why you would. Angel of Vitality. All right? No one else had someone completely pretending to be an escort for 6 to 8 months in order to attempt to catfish the internet and blackmail them. No one else had not one but two different people pretend to be people they weren't and completely catfish the internet for a year and a half each just to get into my moderation team, just to try to get me in trouble or leak DMs and dumb shit like that. No, how many people actually got swatted over the years? How many people have had like repeated crimes committed against them of fraud, identity theft, and impersonation? How many people have that happen to them? Not many. All of those things have happened to me. So knowing that I am the one that has all that shit happening to them, right? I tend to go on the side of erring cautiously, right? Let's be careful instead of just saying, oh, well, it doesn't happen to anyone. Oh, wait, all this other crazy shit also happened to me. But this time it won't. I'm not an ignorant idiot, okay? I received a $5 tip. Someone says, from an anonymous tipper, enjoyed your chill podcast today. Thank you very much to an anonymous tipper. Thank you so much for that. Okay. I was like, swear, I pressed it. I must have missed it. I think my finger slipped. Okay. All right. Is that it? Are we good? I think we can end the show. We can get set up here for Fallout. Maybe do a little bit of extra Fallout today. I'm down for that. Okay, so guys, gals, everyone out there, thank you. First of all, thank you for a good week. This was a good streaming week for sure. Bringing Fallout into the mix was a great idea. Almost done with Elden Ring. Another Krabs treasure is surprisingly good. This has been an awesome streaming week. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. And I'm looking forward to next week continuing on with all this fun stuff. And thank you for a great April. Now that it's done, I can say we bounced back in a big way. After having 2 to 3 very slow months, the engagement, the viewership, the support has rallied back as expected once I brought variety back to the streams and stopped playing 400-hour RPGs. So, this is good stuff. Thank you so much. Oh, by the way, I was just going to say that's it, but I just received another tip from Massive Throbbing Boner. A $2.66 tip. Did I ever consider running for Congress, mayor, Senate, or president? You would win easily. Yes. And in fact, one day I will. But we got to get there. We're not there yet. First, I have to make my award-winning DSP politics content on the internet. Once I start really covering the issues in a big way and people like my takes, then I can run for political office. And I can say, ladies and gentlemen, I will even say this during my campaign announcement. I will say, and just so you know, this original concept, this idea came from a Massive Throbbing Boner. So thank you very much for that tip. Okay. I think it's now time to end the show. All right, everyone. So thank you so very much. Another week in the bag. Another good one. Heading into May handsomely. And I'm happy for all of you that you enjoy my content so much more in April. I'm happy that we're heading into an awesome May. We've got a lot of good things now on deck, including the next throwback project, including the next marathon. We got a lot of stuff going on. And I thank you all. I shall see you on Friday, because remember, I'm off on Thursday. But on Friday, we will have a fun day of streaming. And I hope to tell you all about my day off and more on this Friday. But in the meantime, thank you all. See you then.